Well, Arthur Smith's got a story for us now about a cult language born, sadly, of necessity that'll nevertheless get you laughing.
Hey, have a butcher's at me syrup. Butcher hook, look, syrup of figs, wig.
Cockney rhyming slang, me old China. Most people get it, but what about this lost language?
How bona tavade, you dolly old eek.
Don't have a clue.
Are you speaking Welsh?
What is it? I don't know.
Are you speaking German?
Probably Hebrew, isn't it?
You've got excellent lallies.
Thanks.
Legs, eh? No one seems to have the foggiest idea what I'm on about. And actually, nor do I.
In fact, it's Parlare. I'd half heard of this strange coded language, but author Dr. Paul Baker knows it back to front, including the difference between dolly and cod.
It's a mixture of different types of languages. One of the earliest connections is with a form of language called cant, which was mainly used by criminals in the 17th century. There's also a form of it called Parlary, and that was used by lots of travelling, itinerant and stigmatised sets of people. And they had to find a way to speak together, to communicate in secret.
The private language of Polari stayed just that. It persisted mainly amongst theatrical people and in the gay community, but was never widely used. All that changed when Palari was broadcast to a radio audience of 15 million people in the 60s.
Oh, hello, I'm Julian and this is my friend Sam.
The characters, Julian and Sandy, expertly performed by Hugh Paddock and Kenneth Williams, was part of the comedy series Round the Horne.
How bona tavade, you dolly old eek again.
Thank you. But why are you hiding? It's not like you two to be shy.
It's Jewel, Mr. Horne. He's worried about his social bloomers.
Despite the new freedoms that the 60s brought, homosexuality was illegal until 1967. Some of the audience suspected that the characters Julian and Sandy were gay, and their use of Parlare confirmed it to those in the know. The gay community at that time felt it needed a code for protection.
People like Kenneth Williams and Hugh Paddock, who were actors, knew these words anyway, used them as part of their own lives, and so it was quite easy to incorporate that into the Julian and Sandy characters.
The point is, though, you couldn't quite work out exactly in what way they were rude, you just knew they were.
Yeah, there was, I mean, that period of time, the main way of British humour was to use euphemism and innuendo. You couldn't say anything outright.
The popularity of Julian and Sandy robbed Palari of exclusivity, though, and its use began to fall away. But according to some enthusiasts, it's never been a language at all. It's just too informal to qualify.
Can you kind of invent it a bit yourself?
Oh, of course you can. I'm sure most people did. I think there's certain words that everyone kind of agrees on. So bona means good, and dolly means, you know, beautiful, and eek means face. And then there's words then that then became part of, you know, everyday English, like bevy. These are all words that we used in Polari as well. Bimbo. Also, it's very playful. I think that the playfulness is really important. I think if you start to get too hung up on the seriousness of it, it kind of dies.
Paul runs a monthly Polari event featuring poems and songs.
Dolly is eek, capello and shining clothes.
It's popular with a younger crowd, proving that there's life in the old Polari dog yet.
For something that was very, very unfashionable for a long time, it's sort of coming back in again. I mean, we're getting people coming along to the night who were, you know, 60, 70, and we're getting people who were like 17, 18 students.
So, Polari is one of those secret languages that tells us about a subculture, and it still just about exists. And to that, I say, fantabulosa.